Cold open, Ford's $800 million shock. Ford Motor Company has just reported a staggering $800 million drop in profits within just 3 months. And the worst is yet to come, with projections indicating that the bill could balloon to a staggering $3 billion by the end of the year. It's clear that the company is facing a crisis. The primary culprit? President Donald Trump's 15% to 20% tariff on imports. These tariffs, initially intended to boost domestic manufacturing, have instead created a perfect storm that's severely impacting Ford's financial health. Now Ford, one of America's most iconic automakers, is struggling under the weight of these additional costs. The company is now facing a significant tax burden, about $1,000 per vehicle on average, and has been forced to freeze investments in its electric vehicle transition. To make matters worse, the company is sending employees on unpaid leave in an effort to manage costs and minimize the damage. But the big question is, how much longer can Ford keep this up? In today's video, we're going to take a deep dive into how the tariffs are affecting Ford's bottom line, how it impacts the U.S. auto industry as a whole, and what this could mean for the future of electric vehicles. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more updates and content. We've got plenty more coming your way. Ford's Q2 financial report, the $800 million loss. Let's start with the basics. Ford's second quarter earnings report, released on July 30th, highlighted the devastating effect the tariffs have had on the company's performance. The tariff-related costs alone have contributed to an $800 million loss in profits for Ford, covering the period from April to June. This financial burden is expected to grow significantly, with the company now projecting a full-year impact of up to $3 billion. In the report, Ford explicitly calls out the tariffs in its cash flow statement, noting how the tariffs have directly affected its operating profit. This news hit the markets hard. Ford shares plummeted by 4.2% in after-hours trading following the release of the report. Trading volume was twice the usual level, with 18 million shares exchanging hands. Investors are clearly reacting to the news that Ford's financial outlook is worse than previously anticipated. But how exactly do these tariffs work, and why are they hitting Ford so hard? How the tariffs work. The hidden layers of cost. At first glance, the tariff might appear as a simple import tax on Canadian aluminum and Mexican steel. However, there's much more to the story than meets the eye. Ford has pointed out that the total cost of the tariff actually consists of 5 distinct layers, each of which adds significant financial pressure to its operations. 1. The customs duty. This is the direct tax paid at the border for imported goods. This includes everything from steel to aluminum, vital materials that Ford uses in its vehicle production. 2. Increased freight insurance costs. Due to the tariffs, insurance companies have raised their premiums, charging Ford $8 more per ton of goods to cover higher risks. 3. The standby guarantee letter. When Ford files customs declarations, it is required to obtain a standby guarantee letter from banks. This incurs a 1.1% annual commission based on the amount of capital tied up in the letter. 4th, inventory accounting. Tension. The difference in cost between pre-tax inventory and new post-tax goods creates accounting challenges. This results in an increase in reported margins when older, cheaper stock is sold off, and a significant decrease when more expensive, taxed goods are sold. 5. Financing burden. Ford is also facing an increased financing cost due to delayed price hikes being passed on to dealers, which puts more pressure on the company's balance sheet. The impact on production. Model-by-model breakdown. To further understand the impact of the tariffs, we need to take a closer look at how they've affected Ford's various vehicle models. Ford's tariff bill for 2025, projected to be around $3 billion, is spread across 55 different model families. This translates to an additional $960 in cost per vehicle on average. Here's a breakdown of the impact by model. F-150 full-size pickup, $1,800 per vehicle. Maverick hybrid compact truck, $540 per vehicle. Mustang Mach-E electric vehicle, $1,390 per vehicle due to the cost of nickel-rich cathodes in its electric powertrain. Ford had initially been relying on profits from its F-Series trucks to fund its transition to electric vehicles. However, with the profit margin on these vehicles shrinking due to the tariffs, that cushion is quickly evaporating. Impact on Ford's profit margins. Ford's financial woes are further reflected in its operating margins. In the second quarter, Ford's operating margin dropped from 8.4% to 7.1% compared to the same period last year. CFO John Lawler pointed out that about two-thirds of this decline can be directly attributed to the costs associated with the tariffs. The tariff-related burden has been felt across the company's supply chain. The total impact was measured at 214 basis points in gross margin, 108 basis points in sales, general and administrative SG&A costs, and 21 basis points in financing expenses. These added costs are forcing Ford to reevaluate its production schedules in manufacturing locations. The effects on electric vehicles and future investments. Electric vehicles, in particular, are being hit hard by the tariffs. The Mustang Mach-E, for instance, has seen an increase of $1,800 in its price tag due to the tariffs on Chinese-made battery parts. The Department of Energy's electric vehicle tax credit does not apply to the Mach-E due to the new rules regarding critical minerals and battery components. As a result, Ford is postponing some of its electric vehicle projects. The company has revised its $12 billion electric and digital infrastructure investment plan, cutting it down to $8.4 billion and delaying some of its high-end models by a year. Ford's workforce, temporary leave, and union reactions. As Ford struggles to cope with these financial pressures, the company has been forced to reduce hours for its employees. The United Auto Workers Union, UAW, has expressed concern that this could eventually lead to job losses. While Ford has avoided mass layoffs by categorizing the workforce reduction as temporary leave, the local economy is already feeling the impact as workers see their income slashed. The bigger picture: tariffs, inflation, and consumer impact. In the broader context, Ford's situation highlights the unintended consequences of tariff policies. While the tariffs were intended to bolster American manufacturing, they have created a situation where consumers are facing higher prices for vehicles, insurance, and even parts. The Fed, too, is feeling the pressure, as higher production costs could drive inflation further. With interest rates already at elevated levels, this added financial burden could reduce consumer spending, especially in the automotive sector. Final thoughts. Will Ford survive? Ford's financial troubles provide a cautionary tale of how tariffs can disrupt even the largest corporations. As the company struggles to maintain profitability, the future of its electric vehicle investments and its workforce hangs in the balance. The political rhetoric around tariffs may change, but the damage to Ford's balance sheet is likely to persist for some time. How do you think Ford will navigate this crisis? If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more updates and content. We've got plenty more coming your way.